beautiful setting for a blockbuster. This one feels like a blockbuster. It is a blockbuster. After both cruising through big wins during the week, the Fire and the Flyers do battle tonight in Cairns. It's day 15 of the Chemist Warehouse WNBL season. My name's Jordan Canellis. It's good to be alongside you for the Southside Flyers and the Townsville Fire. It's going to be a biggie, and Bianca Duffelmeyer is with us here on Chemist Warehouse WNBL at HQ. Bianca, welcome. This is a great game. It's
going to be a really exciting match. You know, we've got Townsville Fire and the Southside Flyers both tied for third, so it's a pretty important game tonight.
These sides both faced off in their respective fourth matches a week and a half ago now, about 9 days ago, in a game that Southside won 109-89. A lot has happened since in the last 9 days in this condensed season. The Fire have now won 4 of their last 5. What did we learn in that meeting and what's different now, so many days on?
Look, as we all know, this is a very short and condensed season, so usually when you meet a team, there's a significant amount of time in between, not just 9 days. You know, Townsville have found their stride essentially at the right time. And, you know, you're adding Nadine Payne back into that lineup, who went 6 for 8 against Bendigo Spirit a couple of days ago, so I'm sure she's looking to just continue that hot streak.
Both sides have brought us a great deal of entertainment this season. Southside, we expected that with their lineup. The Fire have been a pleasantly unexpected surprise, I suppose. They've been great so far this season, and they meet for the second time this season. It is a battle of young and old as well, as we have a look at the starting fives, and you see there a lot of teenagers. Shyla Hill won in the starting 5, but it is a squad that averages, I think, 23 and a half years old, but it's an impressive team.
Hands down, they're just as capable as any other team in this league at the moment. You go into your bench and you've got Steph Reid, who is an absolute dog on the ball. She knows how to create for herself and more so for others. Lara McSpadden is an up-and-coming talent. And then you've got Zatina Kuzo, who's everyone's been excited for her return to this season.
And then for the Southside Flyers, it's a big test for them as well. They did win last time, as we just mentioned. 26 and a half is their average age. A lot of players over the age of 27, 8 of them out of the 13, but it's so strong.
It's so strong. You know, not arguably, it is the deepest bench in this league at the moment. You make a sub, you've got Rachel Jarry, a dual Olympian that's coming off. You've got Amy Clydesdale, who's coming off as a backup point guard. Then you've got Monconti. You've just got person after person to sub in. And as you said, there's a lot of experience in that roster as well. Yep, and the
Townsville Fire have a little issue on their bench. They've only got 4. We'll chat about that in a second, so depth might be an issue. I asked Megan McKay pre-game about how the Townsville Fire plan on stopping Liz Cambage, and then after that we also had a chat to Rachel Jarry in the lead up to this game.
I think she's a fantastic player. She's going to score, she's going to get rebounds, but I think we're just going to try to make it as hard as possible for her and hopefully limit her to what she can do.
Megan McKay, good luck today. Hope it all goes well.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Rachel Jarry, thank you for joining us pre-game. A big match today against Townsville. You beat them last time out. What have you learnt about Townsville? What have you continued to learn about Townsville in the week since you last played them?
Yeah, Townsville are a really tough team. I think, you know, they're strong in every position. So last time I feel like we played one really good quarter in that third quarter and blew them away. And then for the rest of the game, it was pretty even. So we've kind of added a few schemes in today to try and disrupt them a bit more. But yeah, it's obviously taking away their amazing penetration from their guards, and then, you know, they've got great three-point shooters as well. So it's kind of picking our poison today.
And make sure you tune in to today's feature broadcast at 5 p.m. for the feature on Rachel Jarry. That game is Adelaide against Sydney. It comes immediately after this one. She's just become a police officer, but how she got there is very interesting, so make sure you tune in for that feature on Rachel Jarry later today. Bianca, as the teams come out, the Townsville Fire there in their orange, the Southside Flyers in their white. What's the matchup you're most looking forward to in this clash?
I'm most very excited about Shyla Hill matching up against Ailani Mitchell and Beck Cole. She's just so young and, you know, inexperienced in comparison to their careers. So I'm really excited to see how she holds herself against them.
Halfway into the season, Townsville and Southside are shaping up nicely in the overall race. So this match promises a lot. How much will it deliver? Should deliver quite a bit as the Southside Flyers on the first attack, and Liz Cambage gets the first score underneath the bucket. And she has been dominant, scoring 20-plus points in just about every one of her matches so far this season, Liz Cambage.
She is. She's scoring just about a point a minute this season with 21 points out of 21 minutes per game. It's pretty incredible.
Early stop to play here. Townsville Fire. Here's Murray. Heel. Leilani Mitchell standing in front of her. Heel with the long two. Overshot it. So the Flyers back down the floor. Here goes Blitzarves. Driving in, lost the handle.
It's a bit sloppy play to open this game up this evening.
Almost overran the ball in her own hand.
Could be the humidity though as well. You know, a bit of the slippery hands there.
Here's Heel again. Stepping away from Mitchell. Good steal on the Flyers. They can break. Coming down is Cole.
That's great defense from Shyla Hill. You know, she did throw the ball away and came down and tried to get a stop.
Defended the paint well, Shyla Hill, and then the double team on Cambage, so they have to go out to Cole, who underhits it. Blitzarves picks up the board. Now Mitchell.
I think there's a little bit of a shove from Megan McKay in the key against Liz.
Good signs early on defense. Even though they gave away the steal, they got back and recovered really well, Townsville.
Absolutely. And I think you'll notice that whenever the ball gets into Liz in the middle of the key, someone else is collapsing. It's usually the weak side post that's coming over, and it's actually disrupting her thus far.
Cambage the miss. Heel brings it down. Payne with the flying shot. Couldn't get there. It was Murray, in fact, from the corner. Heel once more into the paint. McKay kicks it out to Payne. Misses a three-point attempt. She'll have seconds, though, for the layup and gets the first score for the Fire.
That's really good ball movement there from the Fire. Just like Megan McKay said in her pre-game interview, you're already seeing the in and outs that they're talking about. Getting the ball in the post, kicking it out to a three-point shooter, and hats off to Nadine Payne for not giving up on the play after a missed shot. Come to the basket, get rewarded.
Good looks from both sides early. Here's Mitchell from three. Skims off the iron. Leilani Mitchell had her best outing for the season last time around. 20 points on the clash against Perth. 40-point winners on that occasion, Southside. Shyla Hill at the top. Nadine Payne inside to Nicholson. Drives aggressively, looking for the layup. It's her trademark. She couldn't get it this time. Plenty of contacts. Holding.
That's not good. That'd be Megan McKay's second foul this early in the first quarter. She, no doubts, will have to take a seat for the remainder of this quarter, and if not, a lot of the second quarter.
That's a huge loss. That's one of the clashes I was looking forward to watching the most, was Megan McKay. Oh, not just Megan McKay specifically, but the bigs of Townsville. They've got a couple of good ones there, and obviously the Southside Flyers. In this player in particular, Liz Cambage, comes up as we're talking about the front court matchups.
Yep, you're not wrong. Townsville definitely have a lot of work on their hands to contain Liz. You're not going to stop her from scoring, but you just have to limit her scoring.
Nicholson from range.
A lot of good looks happening all over the floor tonight. They're just not connecting.
Pass fired across to O'Hay. Blitzarves with the two. That one's out as well. So Shyla Hill will drive it back down. She goes for three. That one bounces out as well. The radar's off for both sides in the first 3.5 minutes. Cambage inside. Tina Okuzo was opposed to her. Cambage knocks it in.
There's really not much else Zatina can do here, apart from doing the early work and not letting Liz get so deep in the paint to start with. You know, you can't front Liz, you can't stand behind her, and that's why we saw Megan McKay head to the bench, because she was half fronting, but just getting her hand hooked just a little too much.
First visit for the match to the stripe. The and one counts for Liz Cambage. 0 from 7. Match wide across both teams from 3 points. Neither Townsville nor Southside have been able to hit them. Murray, nice bounce pass to find a Kuzo. She was bodied out fairly, according to the officials. Cambage brings it down, lost the handle. Can't do that against Heel. Mitchell picks it back though. Pulling up is Cole. Townsville will have to score here on this end.
And they need to get some good ball movement. They've had a couple of early shot clock shots and that have rimmed out.
Payne from 3. Another one to miss from 3-point range. Payne was dropping them for fun last time.
Oh, wasn't she?
Lovely pass to find Cambage. Cole and Cambage combining. A timeout taken. And the Townsville Fire, after starting so hot last time out against the Bendigo Spirit midweek. Obviously different calibre opponents. Bendigo haven't got the win yet this season, but they've been halted and they've also missed their own opportunities, the Fire.
They have. They're getting really good looks. You know, some are in offense, some are out. At this stage, when they're not connecting the way that they want to or the way they did with against the Bendigo Spirit, you really want to get a nice, good offensive flow going. You really want to find those shots that come to you.
They are doubling her, so you might want to make the pass, skip it, reseal, get it in, or whatever you get out of that, okay? But let's continue to play defence, okay? So you've got Nicholson here. You've got, I'm not sure, Mia still, and you've got the guard, unless they've made any changes, okay? Good job, girls, good job. Here we go. Stick with the rules. Southside players.
Stick to the defence, says Cheryl Chambers, which has been how they've played in the first 4.5 minutes.
They've definitely forced Townsville out of their comfort zone, making them take rush shots, early shot clock shots like I was mentioning before, and they have their team rules, and Cheryl seems pretty happy that they've stuck to them, and it's just given them a nice little reminder to continue to stick to them.
5 from 10 overall field goals for Southsides. 1 from 9 for the Fire, so there's not much disparity in how many chances they're getting, as you've said, Bianca. It's down to the accuracy and taking those chances as Nicholson here ran into a wall of 3. Out to the corner here for Woods.
That is a beautiful shot fake, one dribble.
Stepped inside, opened up some space. As the flies from the corner, rattles out for Steph Blitzarves. Woods has been a spark off the bench this season. Heel for the long 2, that's overhit as well.
You have just had Courtney Woods come off the bench, hit a nice jump shot. That's not the play you probably want to have following it. Just a bit of a forced transition jump shot. You might just want to get into some offense.
Bet Cole's finding them early.
She is. And once she does, when Bet Cole finds them early, unfortunately for the opponents, she finds them all night.
Up to 5 now. Liz Cambage already up to 9. All those points in the paint for Liz. Here's Woods. Lovely pat back from Wakuzo. Heel, the bounce pass, read the run from Wakuzo. Finds the contact.
Fire just look a little bit rattled at the moment. Just need to slow down, and I know I sound like a broken record, and just get through some offense.
Does it look like they're overthinking it a little bit?
A little bit. You know, Courtney Woods had a great fake baseline pass going in for an open layup, and she saw Liz creep across, and she hesitated and then overthought the shot, hence why it rolled out. If she'd just gone up, Liz wasn't in a position to block it.
Finding the space in the corner again was Cole. In fact, it was Steph Blitzarves that time. Here goes Woods. To Payne against the guard. Managed to shoot over, but she's been inaccurate. Used up all her threes in the last match, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it at this point. Right now, with Liz on the bench, this is definitely a time where Townsville really have to capitalise on the fact that their bigs are bigger. You know, you really need to get the ball into Zatina while Liz is not here.
10-point leads.
I missed what happened here. Was it a foul? Did she step out of bounds? Put on the line is what I've been told.
Sarah Blitzarves. First points for her. Oh, Kuzo losing it in a dangerous position. Steph Reed, her first touch. And that's good defense from Rachel Jarry.
Great defense, just all over it. Nothing is easy for the Fire tonight.
Fire coach Shannon Seabom with one of his sternest tests this season. They have played the Flyers before and lost. They're in a good run of form now, Townsville. 4 of their last 5 have been wins. They want to keep that momentum going clearly.
Yeah, Townsville is definitely a different team now than they were when they met the Flyers the first time this season.
Read the inbounds. Payne to Nicholson. Woods to the inside for Akuzo. Makes it counts. To Tina Akuzo.
That's what you want right now while you've got the bigger body. Just keep pounding the ball inside the paint and let Zatina go to work. She has the skill and the IQ to make something happen.
Big chance here for Townsville. Doesn't make it count. So still 10 points. Flyers moving it around the arc. Clydesdale. Jenna O'Hay. Inside to Jarry. Got the shoulder from Akuzo. The turn and shoot. Under duress, almost worked. Akuzo comes up with the rebound. And now Woods looking to go all herself. Misplaced pass from Courtney Woods.
Good attack, nice aggression.
Woods stands in the way.
Yeah, that's a bit of a soft call. That's you know, loose ball that Flyers having to slightly get there beforehand. That's really good defensive effort from Courtney Woods.
Clydesdale brings it in. Blitzarves with a long shot.
Fantastic.
Wonderful work from Sarah Blitzarves.
She's been so consistent across this entire season so far.
Nadine Payne. Nicholson again, that tight defense. The Flyers, oh, that's rough. Nicholson collected by Jenna O'Hay.
Jenna just kind of slid over on her head. Wonderful sportsmanship though. You can see her zoom in and say, "Are you okay?" Oh, that's rough.
It's clearly stunned her a bit, taking a while to regather herself, Lauren Nicholson.
I hope it's not. I hope it's nothing too serious. Just like you said, just a little rattle, walk it off. Otherwise, that's a big loss for the Fire.
Blood nose seems to be for Lauren Nicholson. So if that's the extent of it, I think she'll be happy to live with just a blood nose.
No doubt. Take that over a concussion.
Absolutely. So a little pause in play here. Fire have to use this to their advantage.
Yeah, putting just a nice little break in Southside scoring at this stage. You know, there's a 12-point deficit with 1:50 to go. It's not the way you really want to open a game.
No, absolutely not. No, the Fire have been... There's been a couple of games, they've been a little hot and cold, I think, from their starts. There was a couple of games where they lagged a bit from the start and then they had to come out and really explode after half-time. It's been one or two where they've started hot, so they've been here nor there, I think, with their starts this season. Still just within touch, you'd say, in this first term, though.
Yep. And it also hurts that Megan McKay has played 40 seconds of the quarter and had to head to the bench. And we'll have to be very, very careful. I'm interested to see how much she'll play in the second.
Still within touch, of course, pending if they can actually nail some of their buckets in the last minute 43 of the first quarter.
Yeah, you know, as a player, they're not dropping right now. However, it's 9 minutes in to a 40-minute game.
Yep.
There's still plenty more shots to be taken, and they will fall. You know, that's that cliche saying, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So they definitely will come. They'll come good.
Liz Cambage leading all comers in the scoring with 9. Bet Cole's got 5, and then 2s all around for a host of players. Cambage has the 3 rebounds as well, as does Shyla Heel.
An interesting stat right now, if I'm reading this correctly, is the Flyers have 8 assists in the first quarter. That's a really nice stat to, you know, open a game with.
Well, that's been, I guess, the thing that's has stood out for Townsville has been their assists and how good they've been, I guess, as a team. The Flyers, being the dominant force they are leading the league in assists. So it's really it's a good battle today of great teams, not just good individual players, but how well they work as a unit.
Could not agree more there. Could not agree more. Not only is there, you know, are they having to clean up blood on the floor, it's 76% humidity up there in Cairns. So, you know, there's also a nice, probably slick film of sweat and humidity, like moisture in the air that's going on right now. Probably a welcomed break for some of the girls.
Who does the results affect more? Would a win for Southside be as big a positive effect as a loss, I guess, for Townsville would be on the negative side? So if Southside were to win today, for example, would that put them straight into outright contention? I guess they have dropped just the one more game than what Canberra have. So if they win today, is that oh yeah, absolutely, I'm definitely convinced about Southside? Or if Townsville lose, do you think, oh, they might just drop back into the pack a little bit?
Do you know, win or loss, I am convinced about Southside. It's just there are so many players, so much talent, that there's just constant changes going on in your rotations because you have so much talent to choose from. They will figure it out. I think a win would much... I don't know how to explain that. A win would be much better for Townsville in how young they are and how they're playing together. I think that'll benefit them more than it would for Southside.
Shyla Heel, the reverse layup, makes it counts. Here's Clydesdale. One-on-one with Reeds, closing her down. Litzarves. Both of them working together to find Jarry. Misfires. Into Akuzo, the bounce pass just didn't work. It's been a couple of times now that Townsville have looked for that one extra pass, albeit against very tight defence, so maybe the pass they have to look for, but when they've done it, they've lost possession.
You're not wrong there. They're definitely threading the needle a little too thin.
Last possession here, you think, for Townsville.
You know, the shot clock's about 7 seconds out. They'll get one good shot.
And inside again. I'll go to the line. Mia Murray. And you just see here the love of passing. I mean, Payne could have had that pull up too, but she decided to go the bounce pass under the bucket again.
Yeah, that's great vision from Nadine Payne.
First free throw missed for Townsville tonight, or this afternoon. Second one counts. Shot clock off for Southside before quarter time. Mitchell, who spent a good chunk of that quarter on the bench, as did Cambage, turns and shoots for a long two to end the quarter and give Southside an 11-point lead at the first break. Well, it was a quarter that's, I guess both sides had their struggles trying to shoot, but Southside definitely made it count a lot more, and a lot of points coming in the paint as well for the Flyers in that term. Bianca Duffelmeyer.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong here. You're not wrong there in saying that they definitely went into the paint. And what the Flyers have done better than the Fire, hence why they're ahead by 11, is that they just continued to go with what was working. They kept going into the paint. You know, if there was an inside-outside pass for a wide-open three that we did see happening, they did take that shot, but it wasn't the first shot that they took coming down the floor. On the other end with Fire, you have seen Shyla Hill come down a couple times and just take a transition three or jump shot, similar to Nadine Payne. Everybody's doing it, just need to get some good offensive movement happening.
Shannon Seabaum.
Right, we're reactive, right? It's like, again, it's like we're intimidated. Right, we've got to be more proactive. We've got to be aggressive on the ball. There's no ball pressure, right? They're bringing the ball up with not much pressure every time. There's no first catch denial, right? We got 2 fouls quick, so then we went, oh, we better stop, right? We've got to continue to be assertive at that end. And when the shot goes up, don't stand and watch it. Everyone go get it, right? Secure the ball, and then when we come back here, right, even if it's strong and reverse, right, move it, but play aggressive. The only one being aggressive right now is her, attacking the paint. You are being very hesitant. If you're going to go, go. Drive and if you draw help, pitch. If you don't, go score. Right? Hey, we're fine here. We've weathered the storm. Right? Liz is back in. Right? You go to her. Be physical with her. We're still in red. Right? Proactive red. Here we go.
Brutally honest from Shannon Seabaum. I like it.
There's no other way to be in this league. You know, you're playing in a women's league. You've just got to cop it, and sometimes that happens. And what's going to be the difference maker here is how the Fire answer that.
Pointing out Nadine Payne as the only one who's been truly aggressive in that first quarter, asking more for his charges.
And he's so right in saying that there's nothing to be intimidated about. Yes, they've got a plethora of talent, but so does Townsville.
Steph Reed running rings around Liz Cambage, finding Payne. Rattles out again. Cole, Blitzarves. Cole again with the Cambage screen. Moves off, allows the path inside to Bet Cole.
Fantastic screen, fantastic attack. Really good movement there from Bet Cole and Liz Cambage.
Such a smart play.
Oh, without a doubt. With Liz just, you know, diving, taking her player with her, and Beck just driving off the back of her.
For one more, makes it count. Heel. Payne again. Spadden on the floor. Heel. Looking for something, Shyla Hill. Kicks it out to Reed. Steps back on Mitchell as time was running out. All avenues seem to be closed down for Shyla Hill.
Yeah, they're definitely getting up and under Shyla right now. Not letting her do what she wants to do, making her uncomfortable.
So a big lead opening up here for Southside. 14 points. Here's Cole once more. This time over the top to Cambage, who went in, then back out. Guarded close by a couple. Heel opens up the floor, steps back a little bit. Nothing inside. So Reed puts it up.
Great look.
Makes
Great
it splash.
If they're not going to guard you out there, take the shot. You've got rebounders. And on the very good occasion for Steph Reed, and the shooter she is, she gets rewarded.
Now the other end, 3 to go in as well for Sarah Blitzarves. Anta's back immediately. Reed again into the corner. Now the 3s are going in.
Here they come. You've got to keep shooting. They will fall.
Before they started going in, that was the first of 8 attempts that in a row that Townsville had that had been unsuccessful. And the first 3-pointer that had gone in.
Plays a great read from Shyla Hill.
Great drive.
Nice little pass fake, rip it, go. I can't honestly say how much of a foul was really in there.
Hand in from Murray.
And that's what Shannon Seaborn was talking about in the timeout. I mean, not in the timeout, at the quarter break, being up in denial, and they've done that. They're answering. The ball pressure is there. Things aren't coming as easily to the Southside Flyers as they were in first quarter.
Cole.
And I'll eat my words. I'll eat my words.
I'm going to say they closed down O'Hare, right, but they left Cole open and found the space. Payne around to Heel. Finds the bounce pass to Payne, fires it across the baseline.
Nadine Payne has had some great court vision tonight, this afternoon, I apologise.
Quick end-to-end from Southside, comes up with nothing, so Heel has a go from 3.
I think her foot was on the line. Still a great shot, confident.
Oh, yes. Put my spectacles on next time. The foot was clearly inside. Oh, they've made a bit of a comeback here now, Townsville. They've closed down the margin just a bit. It was as much as 14 earlier, now into 9.
They've just done exactly what Shannon was asking. Be aggressive, don't be intimidated, get up in the lanes. There's nothing else, and it's paying off. They've scored 10 points in this quarter compared to 9 last quarter, which is a very low scoring margin.
As well, not on it. We need to lock down on defence. We need to lock down. Here we go. Southside. Yes.
Just reiterating the defensive aspect of Southside's game, Cheryl Chambers.
Yeah, that's what was working for the Flyers during the first quarter. Their defence is definitely what stunted the Fire from doing anything.
Credit to Townsville as well for responding so well as a team, so responsive to their coach. 3 and a bit minutes into this second quarter. Jenna O'Hay. Cambage. Blitzarves. Mitchell in the paint, kicks it out. O'Hay in the corner, rattles out again.
That's a nice driving pitch from Leilani Mitchell. You just almost want that to fall because it worked so well.
His bounce pass is recovered by Okuzo. Keeps it in possession too. From the corner, no good. Big blow for Townsville as well, as we find out Lauren Nicholson, who we saw hit the floor earlier, has a suspected fracture to her nose, and so she'll take no further part in this match.
That is no good for Lauren Nicholson as a person and the whole team. Townsville Fire, great pass from Charlotte Hill, amazing finish from Nadine Payne. And Shannon was right in saying that she's has not shied away from any possession in this game this afternoon.
You can see Shyla Hill just wanting to break free but unable to, as we've spoken about. They've been in her grill all match long on the break. Showing what she can do. And one goes down for Townsville, and now they're into 6. So this spell at the start of the second quarter has worked wonders for the Fire, but it's still Southside who have the lead. They're as capable of scoring fast points as anyone. Just like that, Amy Clydesdale from long range.
I was shocked that there wasn't a foul called. Zadina literally picked Amy up.
Hill doing a lot. Pulls up for 2. She's into double digits on the points. 11. Far and away. The top scorer for the Fire is Leilani Mitchell. Drains it from long range.
It was a really smart play from Liz there. She just attacked the high post, pulled Shyla and kicked it to a wide open shooter in Leilani Mitchell.
Here's Mitchell. Little spin move, bounces into Cambage. Rode the body contact of Okuzo.
It's definitely a very physical game that the refs are letting all players play this afternoon.
Wonderful step around from Steph Reed, but she was off balance as she got the shot off. Quick down the floor from Southside. Mitchell into Cambage, under the rack.
She's not happy there.
I reckon there's a couple of calls that have probably not been called for Southside against Townsville.
I do agree with that. Liz is definitely in there, battling against quite a few players. But she's still playing very well.
Yeah, so just keep coming, but we'll just try and keep it out of our hands as best as we can here. Offensively, let's look at 4 here, just for one go. Just, Liz, get yourself low, see if you can pin. If that pass is not open, if their numbers are there, get it over here and we'll get it back in that way, okay? And if it's still not on, we just move from there, okay? We don't have to take it. Let's just see if we can. All right?
Our defense away, ladies.
Here we go, lock down. Southside players.
I love hearing the input from the players in the timeout breaks.
I can't.
Do you know who she might have been referencing in terms of the Townsville player being scared to drive at her?
I don't. The only one I was saying, we did see that Courtney Woods was hesitant, but she hasn't actually checked back in this quarter. It would have to be Steph Reed, Shiley Hill, but Shiley Hill hasn't really backed away. Steph Reed hasn't either. Nadine Payne hasn't either. I don't really know who she's referencing to.
Perhaps Okuzo. He's Payne.
See, Megan McKay's back in.
Yeah. There she is. Hand off to Heel. Shot clock ticking down to 5 as Murray lets it go. Clydesdale. Cambage outside the paint, does a couple of laps and drops in.
There is nothing you can do about that defensively, and if I was on Southside, I would just be feeding that ball into Liz. Just squeeze that lemon.
Absolutely, up to 15 points, Liz Cambage, 6 rebounds as well. So we are, what, 3.5 minutes from half time, and she's already on double-double watch. 4 rebounds in a half and a bit of basketball should be doable.
I wouldn't be upset with it.
Payne driving at 2, finds McKay. How's that for aggression?
That's, you know, that's someone who's been in the league for a long time, just understanding what's going to happen when you put the ball on the floor and knowing as soon as you draw someone else is open on your side.
Clydesdale over the top, good block from Murray. Stops the Southside Flyers at one end, and from the other, couldn't make it count, couldn't consolidate on that attempt. Cole, my favourite position tonight, out on that wing. Here's Reed trying to twist Clydesdale inside and out. Murray pulls up with the elbow and again pings off the ring. Heard that sound countless times in this first half.
Yeah, just move it off the front of the rim there.
Into Cambage.
Great feed. You can't stop that. You just cannot. You've got to do the early work or foul.
Here's McKay. Almost ran into Shyla Heel. 3-point attempts. Reed with the follow-up. That's good.
Never give up on a play.
Cambage, lovely bounce pass into Jarry.
Great cut from Jarry. Seeing that 2 players are collapsing on Liz. Nadine Payne had no idea where Rachel was. Gets rewarded with the trip to the free throw line.
Shooting at 35% Townsville, 50% now for the Southside Flyers. They've both had 34 attempts. Field goals, 12 to 17 have been converted. 4 3-pointers to 2 in favour of the Flyers. Both good for Rachel Jarry. Don't forget that feature on her later on in the main match of the day, Adelaide's against Sydney.
Monconzi has checked into the game for the first time.
Heel pulls up from the free throw line. Here is Conti. Jarry onto Blitzarves. O'Hay. Cambage finds herself a long way out. McKay stood her grounds.
That's good defense.
The Fire get it back through Heel, looking for the left-handed layup.
That's really good defense. Clean. Nice attack from Shiley Hill.
Good. 15 points for Shiley Hill in the first half. 3 rebounds to go along with it as well. Second quarter coming to a close. Jarry. Southside have held this lead for pretty much all of the first half, hovering around 10 or so points. Fire got into around about 6.
Had a nice little run at the Flyers.
Heel over the top from the corner. Nadine Payne.
I'm sure she'll be very relieved to see one go down. She's had so many good attempts. She deserves one to go in.
6 of 8 in the last match against Bendigo. Conti chewing up the clock before half-time. Opens up some space. O'Hay. Jarry to the inside. Aggressive. One last fling for Woods. Way over. Good first half of basketball. 8-point leads for the Southside Flyers at half-time. It was a roller coaster. We saw both sides had the radar off in the first quarter, and then eventually they both got on their scoring run, and we've got a game that is poised nicely at the break. Half-time, Townsville 34, Southside 42.
It's been a good game.
Eight-point leads at half-time for the Southside Flyers over the Townsville Fire in a game that was highly billed heading into today, and it's certainly given us that so far in the first half. Jordan Canellis with you at the main break. Bianca Duffelmeyer alongside me, having just seen the first half between Townsville and Southsides. Bianca, your overall thoughts on that first half? We saw a bit of good, bit of bad from both sides. The shooting was a little off to start the game, but once both teams found their rhythm, we've seen some good basketball from both.
I mean, you kind of said it all. It was just a bit of a messy game in the first quarter. Both teams not really hitting rhythm shots, sloppy passes, bouncing off your foot. But the Flyers have definitely come up and figured out what works for them without the 3. You know, they were just going into Liz, making it work. She's open. There's no one as tall as Liz or with that wingspan that can really slow her down, and they capitalised on that. The Flyers definitely started to find their rhythm. They were attacking after a bit of a chew from head coach Shannon Seabohm, wanting them to stay aggressive, wanting them to not be intimidated by their opponents, and they answered coming out of the first quarter. It's what they need to do coming into this second half that'll make or break them in this third quarter. Yeah, the third quarter is the championship quarter.
So what do Townsville need to do then? What do you think is the main aim? Do they just do what they kept on doing in that middle part of the second quarter in the lead up to half-time? Is that kind of, you think their comfort zone is in there?
Yeah, I completely agree. What they were doing there, they were taking what the defence was giving them. They were being proactive, not reactive, is the term that I think Shannon was using in that quarter break. They were dictating what they wanted to do. They were getting on the rim, kicking to the corners. They were taking those little jump shots from the elbow, attacking the paint when Liz was on the bench. Those are the things that they need to capitalise on when they can.
How much of an impact do you think the smaller bench for Townsville has?
Massive.
They only had 4 players on the bench heading in. They've already lost one in Laura Nicholson, so they're only able to cycle through 8 players.
It's a massive hiccup for them this game because they still got 20 minutes of basketball without one of their guards, and then you've got Megan McKay that's on foul watch at this moment as well. Yeah, she definitely got through the first half with just 2, but the refs are calling the game pretty close in the paint, on and off. So there's not a lot of adjustment that they can make at this stage. So you want to make sure that no one else gets into foul trouble, because then they'll have to go pretty small against, you know, a very tall Southside Flyers.
We're seeing here the battle between Liz Cambage and Shyla Hill, not necessarily directly all the time, given the size difference and positional differences, but both have hit the scoreboard in a big way. Shyla Hill has 15 points in the first half, Liz Cambage 17 points. As we look at the half-time stats, assists, as you pointed out, at quarter time, Bianca has just continued on. And that is the main difference, I think, with Southside and Townsville.
17 assists to Southside in 20 minutes of basketball to the 8 that the Fire have. And the Fire are also known for sharing the ball. We've touched on that a few times this afternoon. It's an incredible thing to see that they're a team with such talented individual players that are like, you know what, I have a good shot, but my teammate has a great shot. And just to see that continuing to progress across this season is incredible. I just really want to see the Fire kind of find that groove that they had against the Bendigo Spirit.
So that's an assist for every field goal made for the Southside Flyers, and there's only 3 field goals made in difference between the two sides. Obviously a few more three-pointers, which is what's given the margin its slightly larger lead, but 17 from 17 assists, that's teamwork personified there for Southside.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's nothing else to say about it. They've done the work and they're being rewarded. Both teams are in even with rebounds. Even the Townsville Fire are up offensive rebounds 5-2. You know, they're not backing down either. I know Steph Reed's been a little bit of a gnat in there, and she's just unsuspectingly come up with a good few offensive boards and steals. You know, you can't really stop Liz Cambage that's on our screen right now. She's doing what she does best.
The numbers are there, 17 points, 8 from 11 field goals. She only hit the 2-pointers. She's been a menace in the paint, as she has been all season. So what's the plan to try and... you can't stop Liz Cambage, but try and restrict her at least.
Correct. And, you know, in our pre-game interview with Megan McKay, she did say, you know, she's always going to score. She's always going to rebound. You've just got to limit her to doing what she does well. And if you notice in the first quarter, Liz actually didn't get a lot of good touches the way she wanted to. Townsville had a weak side post or guard that would come in and essentially collapse on her when she would catch the ball in the paint. And they've gone away from that, which has allowed Liz to have those 17 points.
A lot of responsibility on Shyla Hill, which was going to be the story anyway this season, playing and running the point at 19 years of age, but even more so now without her partner in crime at the guard in Lauren Nicholson. So how much pressure do you think is on? I know Steph Reed's a great player off the bench as well, so not to discredit her impact on the game, but a lot of it does now rest on Shyla.
I don't think it's going to be any more pressure than Shyla already has on herself. She's a confident player and she's put in the work in the off-season, in-season, wherever she is. Shyla's working hard. When she was back playing with Bendigo, every time I would go into the stadium for work, who's there shooting and working on her handles? Shyla Hill. There's no need to have pressure. And in saying that, Steph Reed will step up, Courtney Woods will step up, someone will continue to step up and fill that gap.
See Shyla Hill. She's been in the wars as well, as you can see. There's been plenty of physicality in this match so far, and that was, I guess, exemplified, unfortunately, by the injury to Lauren Nicholson, that fractured nose, which brought about quite a bit of blood. Hopefully, it's only a short layoff, if any layoff at all, for Lauren Nicholson. Both of these sides 5-2 heading into this game, so a lot of implications on the way the ladder stands. Both sides just a game off. Canberra at the top, Adelaide wedged in between, a few games in hand. If Southside lose today, they do drop below the Melbourne Boomers, who they have lost to as well. That middle portion of the ladder, that top 5, really close.
Very close. And you know what? It's a really, really exciting position to be in. So, you know, there's no just top team. There's 4 to 5 teams that are vying for a position in the top 4. And then, you know, you've even got Sydney that's teetering on that in that 6th position that's playing really well, that could upset some people. So, you know, it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have 3-4 teams battling continuously throughout the season for those spots.
Has there been a clear standout, do you think, this season? Is there a team that you can say has been the absolute best team? Obviously, Canberra's record 6-1 stands above the rest, literally on the ladder, but But it is, it's hard to get a read. You can throw a blanket over that top 5, as you say.
Yeah, look, I don't disagree with Canberra definitely being, you know, they're back-to-back champions, looking to get a third, and the way they're playing right now is also very, very, very well, and they're very deep. You know, Jade Melbourne as a rookie has come out and said, you know what, I'm not actually a rookie. I'm going to play like I'm not a rookie, and you're going to respect my game. But you know what, I want to give credit to Melbourne Boomers. They've come into this season. They had a bit of a lull in, I think, game 3 and 4, once against the Perth Lynx. Perth kind of gave a bit of run for their money. Both teams were missing key players in Tess Madgen and Katie Ebzery. But Melbourne have been the team that have been together the longest, and they seem to be gelling really, really well. So that's going to be my pick.
Yeah, no shame in the Boomers' record as well. Their 2 losses have come to Canberra and Townsville, who have been, you know, notoriously good opponents this season, all season long. So the Boomers sitting just outside in that 5th spot. As we've just been talking about, there's it's so close, and there's still a whole half season left. So we've got round 3, which comes to a close today and tomorrow. Tomorrow being the last day, and then into round 4 at the start of next week. And both of these sides have to back up tomorrow again. We're going to see that throughout the course of the season a few times, not too many times for many of the sides, but 2 games in 2 days does happen, and the Southside Flyers have Adelaide tomorrow, who play later on today. So all sides pretty much this weekend having to do 2 in 2.
Yeah, I think a lot of that also has to do with the restructure and Adelaide's quarantine week in there. Don't get me wrong, there definitely are a lot of back-to-back games, and you know, back-to-back in the sense that it's, you know, you're playing Wednesday, Thursday, then you get a day off, and then you're actually backing it up again on the weekend because of the condensed season. You know, it's taxing on their bodies, and credit to all the players in this league. You don't see it. I can't see it right now. They don't. The fatigue doesn't look like it's going to be setting in the way you think it would have. Aside
from the fatigue, which, as you said, hasn't noticeably set in, the being in the hub 3 weeks it's been now since we've started the season. The Victorian teams have been in there a little longer with their extra quarantine coming out of Victoria. So aside from the fatigue, just the, I guess, trying to find ways to pass the time, I guess, you know, not being able to live as normal a life as you could in the regular, you know, a regular WNBL season. How much does that have an effect on just the lifestyle around playing league basketball?
You know, you would think it would have a larger effect because the girls are around each other 24/7. They don't really get to go home and decompress. But, you know, if you jump on the WNBL's social media, you actually find that they've got quite a bit to do up there. They're definitely enjoying the sights when they get the chance. You know, a lot of out by the pool, doing some touristy things. I believe a lot of the teams went to, was it Magic Island? They look like they're having a lot of fun, considering this is a very intense season that they're participating in right now.
Half-time done, 8-point lead, Southside 42, leading Townsville 34, second half, not far away. Eight-point leaders in Cairns. Townsville Fire trailing the Southside Flyers. Liz Cambage, you see, 17 points for her, far and away the leader as far as the Flyers are concerned. Bet Cole has 10 points, so a 7-point differential there. Shyla Heel, 15. Nadine Payne, 7. A lot rests on their shoulders. You just saw Lauren Nicholson with the sweatshirt on. She's out of the game with that fractured nose after a heavy collision mid-court with Jenna O'Hay. So back underway. Second half of today's blockbuster match between the two 5-2 sides in the Chemist Warehouse WNBL. Jordan Canellis and Bianca Duffelmeyer with you.
It's a nice attack from Sarah Blitzarves. Unfortunately, I think Steph Reed's foot just kind of slipped from under her, and that's what's caused the foul.
Adelaide and Sydney Uni coming up next, and then Bendigo and the Caps. Canberra Capitals, the last game of this triple header on your Saturday.
It's a lot of basketball. I'm not disappointed in it.
It's great. It's fantastic. Long-range effort, Jenna O'Hay.
Her first 3 for this afternoon. Ooh.
Great way to start for the captain. Here's Reed.
Looking for a path on the inside. Lovely bounce pass in to find McKay. Beautiful, incisive stuff from the Fire.
I couldn't agree more. That was a just fantastic feed. Charlie Hill's is a bit winded.
Don't quite know what happened there. That was
Neither
just
do
behind
I.
play.
Yeah.
Hate to lose 2 guards. Townsville.
That would be a massive blow to lose Shiloh Hill at this stage. Oh,
It is.
just copped an elbow right into the sternum.
Suspect just winded. Shiloh Hill. So Reed and Woods on the floor in the backcourt. Mitchell into Cole. Driving underneath the rack. Draws the contact.
Courtney Woods actually had her in front of it. It's just a bit of a lazy defense there. Great attack from Bet Cole.
Both made goods from Bet Cole.
She's got 12 points and 5 assists for the afternoon. I am so sorry, everybody.
Here goes Reed. Finds herself right underneath Cambage and then couldn't find the pass out.
That's a great drive, really aggressive from Steph Reed, and then just got intimidated by Liz Cambage in the paint. You've just got to go up and just, you know, make sure your teammates are there to rebound. You could draw a foul and do exactly what Liz did on the other end. Just go with confidence. That'd be Megan McKay's 3rd foul at the start of the 3rd. But the bench is dwindling for the Townsville Fire. So I'm unsure. Do you chance it and tell her to play smart, not get her 4th foul? Nope. We'll see Zatina Akuzo wait to check in. But no doubt it will be Megan McKay.
Leilani Mitchell. Right across. Cambage picks it up again and the putback is good. Liz Cambage. So off the floor at the moment for Townsville is Nicholson, Heel, McSpadden and Akuzo. Akuzo will come on for McKay soon, we expect, who's in foul trouble. Nicholson out for the game. Heel getting her breath back, we expect, and then McSpadden's the replacement big as Steph Reed pulls up for a long 2.
That was a nice move from Steph Reed.
Southside back the other way through Cole. On fire, Bet Cole.
She's not slowing down at all.
She is kicked away in this 3rd quarter. Steph Reed looking to do the same. That splashes down as well.
Steph Reed is stepping up right now. She is doing what her team needs her to do and become a scorer and lead this team.
In the conversation for the 6th player of the year, Steph Reed surely. She's had returns of 13 points, 11 points and 9. Steph Reed this season, she's up to 10 now.
Also see that last foul went on to Courtney Woods. That puts her on 3 fouls as well. And that's the only other guard substitute they have at the moment.
Blitzarv's fade away, no good. Steph Reed driving back at Blitzarv's, kicks it out. Woods steps inside. Southside will counter. How's that for a pass from Mitchell, but they recovered well, Townsville.
Great vision. Just knew what she wanted to do, knew where Jen O'Hay was running to. Hats off to Steph Reed for just being there. She's just as aggressive defensively as she is offensively.
Yeah, came up with a block last week. I think that was her first block of the season. Block shot, Steph Reed, which is pretty good.
She's
For 168 centimetres.
Oh, she's in everything. You know, I've played against her, and you just can't take away with how aggressive she is in every possession. Offensively, she's commanding the floor. Defensively, she's up in there, like just in your face. You hate to play against her, would love to play with her.
Pings off the paint as well. The University of Buffalo. Steph Reed, she spent 4 years there where she was the conference MVP, or the tournament MVP, so the end of season for the Mid-American Conference. Here goes Cole driving in the paint, trying to bamboozle Okuzo. Reed again, little step around, and then drives past Cambage, who puts the block on.
And that's what she needs to do. She needs to do that because you know what? Yes, that time it got blocked out of court. One time it may get blocked on court with a pickup from one of her teammates for a second shot. You just can't shy away from the fact that there's just a big body there. Be a player.
Shyla Heal back in the game. Swaps in for Steph Reed, who's put in a shift in the first 4 minutes of this third term. Margin still at 12, which we've hovered around that sort of 10 to 14 point mark most of this match in favour of the Flyers. And they'll keep that way if Bet, Cole and co. Cole, Cambage and the rest keep being as clinical as they are. Cambage 21 points, Cole 14 points, and then Sarah Blitzarves with 7. And now O'Hay gets involved.
Just inching that lead out a little bit further.
Heal steps back, it'll be 2. Now Mitchell down the other end. There goes Shyla Heal. Woods to Heal again.
Offense is very stagnant right now. Townsville really want to get some movement going.
Gets the body contact from Steph Blitzarves.
Good defense from Steph. Good read. Just stands straight up.
Yeah. Planted herself well. Steph Blitzarves. It's always going to be hers.
Yeah, that segment there from Townsville Fire, very stagnant. Just kind of watching Shyla do something with it.
Clydesdale coughs it up, Akuzo. Now to Woods.
Nice
Top.
vision.
That was good transition from Townsville. They outnumbered on the turnover on the way back, so Payne had the free shot. Southside will look to do something similar. Cambage.
Just a bit dangerous doing those. Dangerous as in you get burnt just like there. Trying to go for that still with a player such as Liz's caliber. You want to just play it straight up.
Cambage registers 24 points for the match. Here's Murray. Definitely bounce pass into Akuzo, who was going the other direction.
Right idea. Definitely right idea. Just weren't on the same page as you said in which direction they were going.
Jarry from long range. Akuzo pulls it down. Heal fires it across to Payne on the same wavelength. Now Murray looking for the path inside, the right-hand layup. Beautiful move from Mia Murray.
That's a great drive.
And now down the other end, Steph Blitzarves.
Does the exact same thing.
Oh, copped it straight up. Heel, so did Cambage though. Came to her a bit too quick for her own good, I think, Cambage. Here looking to drive once more. Now down the other end, quick transition to find
What a
Jarry.
pass.
Good look.
Just over the top of 3 Townsville players, I think.
And this little scoring run here for Southside Flyers all of a sudden has blown the lead out to 18 points.
Yep, I take it back. That pass went over 4 Townsville players, and the Flyers they're clicking right now. Everything's working. Finding the open man, going in the paint. They're starting to hit their threes. You know, Townsville, it's a good timeout to have to stop that momentum. Maybe a change of defense, might throw on a press, you might see. At the same time, you may not because they have another game tomorrow. But we'll check out this timeout for the Flyers.
Stops and run. Good job, girls. Here we go. Southside Flyers.
Cheryl Chambers undoubtedly happy with where her team is at this stage. Shannon Seabon at the other end, Townsville. So have they lost some of that aggression that they played with in the second term, do you feel?
I don't feel like they've lost the aggression. I think they've just lost that team aspect. Right now, it's everyone's not being selfish individually. They're just not moving the ball. They're not getting through any offense right now. It's kind of coming down the floor, one pass maybe, transition shot, and they're not falling again. So what was working before was aggressively getting to the rack and also getting some good ball movement.
McKay. Makuzo. Good take from McKay.
Just lost a footing a little bit.
Now it's Amy Clydesdale. Around to Cole.
I think she just may have copped a bit of a corky to the thigh coming off that screen.
Sarah Blitzarves. It is, who's down on her haunches.
Rachel Jarry, I believe.
Stand corrected. Didn't seem like much.
Yeah, it didn't. Just a bit of a leg-to-leg contact. But you know, everything, right moment, right time, right angle.
Hit the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Clydesdale around to Cole. Tries to find a path through into the paint. O'Hay out to Clydesdale. And bounces up and out. Okay. Too many teammates not looking at McKay.
Correct. Just kind of
not making the runs.
Yeah, just you know, not really aware of where the ball is. Nice show from Zatina. Probably could have happened a little bit earlier and would have had more of a slip against Jenna O'Hay.
Kuzo. It's a long lay in, doesn't go.
Good take.
Bet Cole down the other end. Into the corner.
The Flyers right now, they just cook it really well. They're attacking and finding the open man on the three.
Steph Blitzarves up to 4 points. She starts to get involved in the action, on the scoreboard at least. Woods, turn and shoot. That's good.
Definitely always want to turn and look at the basket.
Steph Blitzarves here on the left-hand dribble, pulls up underneath. Clean. She continues on her little scoring run.
We've had a couple of players that are doing that this afternoon. haven't scored in the second quarter, and then just go on a run.
Beautiful from Courtney Woods too. It's her first 3 of the night. Dropped straight in like a stone.
Oh, it definitely was one of those beautiful ones. And
so is that.
Yep, Jenna Hay answers. Again, that's her third 3 for this afternoon.
3 from 6. Jenna Hay. Fire here through heel. For Akuzo on the inside, but they closed down the space, did Southside.
It was one of those threading the needle just a little too thin. You had almost 4 bodies in the paint trying to throw a bounce pass. You know, you've got Sarah, you've got Jenna, and you've got Tina actually calling with her lead hand in the air. Throw it up to her, let her go get it.
Catch and shoot from Reed.
Comes off the bench, steps on the court. I'll take 2. Shooting at a very good clip, 5 for 8. 14 points.
Clydesdale. Trying to find an avenue through. And Hay from the corner drives inside the paints. Charge was there. Oh, yeah.
Again, hit the sweet spot, right? She dipped her shoulder just a little bit. Megan fell.
Heel. Dancing away into the paint again.
These 2 free throws will definitely help the Fire just inch away this deficit.
First points of the second half of Shyla Hill. Spent a good chunk of the quarter off on the sideline though, after getting winded. Clydesdale, seen a lot of game time.
It's a very physical game this afternoon. A lot of players have hit the deck.
Against Megan McKay as well, so that's her 4th personal. So we see Akuzo come back on. Makes both good, Amy Clydesdale. As of 2 fouls ago, the Fire giving away the bonus. That's a good move inside.
That's a fantastic high-low from Akuzo. Just good vision. I don't even think Lara knew that she was open until she happened to open up. This is first court time for today's match.
So right before 3/4 time buzzer, and Townsville just chip in a little bit more, but this was really a Southside Flyers quarter, opening up an 8-point halftime lead and doubling that to 16 at 3/4 time. And And the Southside Flyers, they've got this game in the palm of their hand now. It's going to be a big effort from the Townsville Fire in the last quarter.
Big effort, especially, you know, you've got Megan McKay that's nursing 4 fouls and still has 10 minutes to play. You've lost Lauren Nicholson early on, who was just going to start getting going, really.
You guys are in the points fine. Let's look at more punch up, right? More punch up. That last one, right? That's great, right? They come out, we pitch on, we dive hard to the rim, we're open, good high-low, right? That's good. And that's what, again, we're going to play a punch up, shakes, right? We've got to get good shots, but again, if you're open, feet set, knock them down, right? We've got to keep taking good shots, right? But we've got to play with purpose on offense this quarter, right? Again, regardless of what happens here, right? Defensively, we have to talk, right? We have to talk. Okay, let's go back. So you and you, we're showing. Right, we're showing on ball screens, okay? So both of you, but we've got to communicate, got to know if it's this side pick and roll, and we're showing that low player's got roll, right? If it comes down into here, the show, come back and trap it straight away, right? Know the personnel. Know the personnel. So again, right, if it's O'Hay, we've got to get back, get a hand, we've got to communicate better when it's her, right? Cole wants to drive right? Clydesdale's the same. Okay, here we go, girls, stay with it, let's go. Fire.
What's the main takeaway from the message, Bianca?
Offensively, play with a purpose. Play with aggression. If you've got an open shot and your feet are set, take that shot. Have the confidence to take it. Also, really start looking at these high-low passes that have started to creep into the, Townsville's offense the past 2 quarters, from Akuzo to McSpadden and McKay when she's in. Defensively, really talk up the on-ball screens. A couple of girls have been flattened by just flat screens, not knowing they were there, and getting that double team starting to happen on Liz Cambage again.
In quick to read.
Would have loved to see Reed actually look at shooting. She was open.
She'll go again here, Reed.
Nice find.
Uzo. Great little pass around the corner from Steph Reed. She might get the steal back here. Just went out of play though before she could fling it back in.
She doesn't stop. She's always there.
Energizer Bunny. Steph Reed.
That's it.
Here's Mitchell.
These are the silly fouls that you want to avoid for Townsville right now, because you've got so many people in foul trouble. Steph Reed has 3, Heald now has 2, Courtney Woods has 3, you've got Megan McKay on the bench with 4. You'd hate to lose another player.
Liz Cambage on the turn, drops it in. Southside Flyers aren't really missing much, especially when they go in deep.
Correct.
Here's Woods, finding a path around Blitzards, in off the glass.
She's playing well. She's stepped up now that they've lost a couple of players. Don't think Steph realised how open she was there.
She kicked it out. Here's Cole. Losing her balance as she threw it up. Good no board. Mitchell into Cambage. Just outside the paint. Misses the shot. Thigh, bring it back down. Heel. Trying to cross around Cole. She does. Steps back out. Long range 2. Under hit. Kept
And
by Reed.
that's those 1%ers that Rachel Jarry was actually talking about, what her role is on the team. That you could have let that ball go. You could have let it go, and Steph was like, you know what? No, I'm going to give it a real hard crack, and threw it at the right angle without even realising it to get the ball back under the hoop with almost half a shot clock.
That's exceptional.
And those little things that Townsville Fire are doing are what's going to help them as this season progresses, is what's going to help, you know, all the little girls and boys that are watching this sport. You know, you don't just settle for threes, you also do the little dirty work.
Shyla Hill trying to manoeuvre inside. Good steal from Blitzarves. And now Mitchell carries it down. Cole backing up, finds a little avenue.
You know what, you don't want Liz Cairns to get deep in the paint, but you also don't want to bet Cole. She does that in 3-on-3 with her eyes closed.
Caruso looking for an option. Didn't want to take the shot from that range.
It's a 3-second violation.
I feel like it is, yeah.
I don't think I've seen one of those been called this season.
$16-point lead for Southside. Held that comfortable buffer pretty much all game. Townsville made slight inroads midway through the second quarter, but it's been all Southside since then. Not that they've, well, for a period in the third quarter, they were going on a big scoring run against the Fire, but since then it's been sort of points for points. Just the early buffer that the Flyers were able to build early in the game has kept this distance for the majority of the journey today.
Yep. See, Courtney Woods has taken her total to 11 points. She's really starting to find the shots that are working for her. And right now, as the Townsville guards really need to find her. She's hot, she's in rhythm. That'll be Shyla Hill's third foul. So you've got 3 players with 3 fouls, 1 with 4. Townsville really need to start playing a little smarter. We haven't seen Nadine Payne for quite some time.
Yeah, second half it feels like she's gone quiet. Cole just getting unlucky there on the layup. She's been exceptional this afternoon. 16 points for Bet Cole. She knew that right out of the hands.
Like I said, if she connects on one of those first shots in a game, you know that Beck's going to have a good game.
Much better on the second. Reed. Very congested at the top of the paint. Opens up now for Reed. Around the corner pass. McSpadden, Akuzo. Both hesitant to shoot. Oh, they've got themselves in a bind, the Townsville Fire.
I think they knew how much time was left on the shot clocks. They all just kept passing it.
Feels like that's sort of been the story of the night, apart from
Shyla Hill.
Apart from Shyla Hill and even
Reed.
and Reed.
A little bit of Courtney Woods and Nadine Payne early on.
I think it is. It does feel like, you mentioned this word earlier, intimidation. Just the intimidation on the inside from the front court of Townsville to actually take on Southside underneath the rack. A lot of it is being left up to those on the outside.
That's it. And, you know, look at this foul that Tina's just gotten. I know I've been harping on be smart with fouls, but that's actually a very good foul. She's just made Liz have to work for her positioning. Was she a little extra rough? Yes. But you know what? Liz is going to go in there next possession like, oh, do I really feel like fighting again? Or do I just stay out, take Zatina out of the paint and open it up for my teammates?
Here is Cambage. Shout to Cole. Pulls up for 2. Heel. Back the other way for the Fire. Still 6 minutes to go in this last. Akuzo with the dribble. Pass got a slight touch. McSpadden weaves her way in. In fact, it is Megan McKay who's back on. Clydesdale.
she got away with one just there.
Yeah, could have been called on the game.
Yep. And I didn't really see what happened with Steph Reed. That's Steph Reed's 4th foul with 5.5 minutes to go. As you can see on the screen, the players on the floor right now are all pretty much in foul trouble and need to be careful for the remainder of this half.
And already giving up the bonus as well.
That was about to be my next question.
Yeah.
5.5 minutes of sending a team to the line.
Yep.
Being down 14 is really not a good place to be.
Breather for Bet Cole, who has played about 27 minutes of this match. The vast majority. $79-64 here at the timeout, halfway through this last quarter. Steph Reed has been a shining light, though, for the Townsville Fire, despite the margin.
She has.
They were down a guard early as well, so she stepped and filled the breach, as she has done a number of times this season already.
Absolutely, and you know, she definitely had a good little scoring run by herself in the beginning of the 3rd quarter, I believe, but she just did not back down. Comes off the bench, knocks down a 3. She's an incredible talent, and it's just going to continue to be exciting to watch her grow, not just this season, but her overall career. Just hustle, doing the 1%ers, defensively up in people's grills.
In her 3rd season of WNBL basketball, Steph Reed, just to her 15th game, which is
hard
astounding.
to believe, right?
I know.
Hard to believe when she's playing like that.
So what are Townsville aiming to get out of this last 5.5 minutes here? Down 15 points.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time on the clock. You can definitely get this game back into winning potential. But when you're in a position like this, you're down 15, you have to play like you're going to win and get back into it. But you also have to work at what's not been working, you know? Like if you're not getting through offensive sets, this is where you get into an offensive set, which is what they're doing.
Behind the back pass from Heel to find Woods. Looks for Heel again. Shot clock down to 5, have to be aware of that. Neat little around the back crossover, comes unstuck, and it's been picked away by Cambage. Clydesdale. Blitzarves. Oh, not on the same page twice. Clydesdale and Blitzarves.
And I wasn't sure if they changed the call there for a second. No, it is. It's staying with the Flyers. No, I stand corrected.
Murray. Payne. Murray again from long.
Haven't seen Mia Murray for a couple of minutes.
Clydesdale being flushed out. Nice little pass to the inside. Wouldn't go for Pizzi. Saray Taylor on the court for her first minutes. Here's Clydesdale. Dishes to the inside. She's looking for Pizzi again.
Pizzi doing well, had a nice seal.
It's been stolen back. What's happened there for Townsville?
Just looked like a little bit of lack of effort, in all honesty, in that last play.
Yeah, that was a mindless giveaway from the Fire.
This is, you know, I think I touched on it before from during their timeout. It's how you answer to this. You know, you are down a fair bit. You've still got 4 minutes left. how do you chip away at this? How do you grind this out? How do you be the best team that you can be in this moment? How do you become more competitive?
Meg, Mia, right? You're going to run up like you're going into shakes, and we're going to pass the ball straight across the court, right? And then you're going to go and set it for her. Okay, so you're sprinting up like you're setting it. So we're dribbling down, pitch it across, change it to this. Now when we come off, right, Steph, you're in that feeder position. So throw, dive hard. If Nads's player helps because they're switching that, right, Nads is open for a three, right? Hey, stay locked in here. Down here, our talk is not good enough. Right, let's go. Fire.
Shannon Seaborn, the coach of the Townsville Fire. I feel like I've been seeing this in the second half. It does just feel like they've, although they're still obviously trying to put something on here, the Fire, they have dropped their heads a little bit. The attitude, the body language is just, it's a bit more, it's slumped a little bit for most of the Fire players.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. It just looks like, you don't want to say that they've given up because they haven't, but it's like they've accepted that this may be a loss for them.
Yeah.
And they're just playing out the remainder of the game where there's plenty of game left. And Courtney Woods, good on her. She's still in there trying to keep the ball alive. Steph Reed hasn't dropped her head not once.
Huge contact from McKay on Monconti.
And I don't know, you probably didn't hear it on the screen, but it was a very clean screen from Megan McKay, and it was a lack of defensive talk from Monconti's teammates, and you could hear Cheryl Chambers actually yelling out, you've got to talk to her, you've got to let her know that that screen's coming.
Clydesdale over the shoulder. That's a nice lane from Amy Clydesdale, who's put in a tough shift tonight. She's been busy in the second half. Honest worker, Amy Clydesdale. And there she is again. Almost came up with a steal.
Absolutely.
Reed driving in. Shovel pass to McKay. Caught the underside of the ring. Goes in for seconds.
She's not giving up on that play. She's got 2-3 bodies on her. And she goes up.
Active on the inside, Megan McKay. $18 points last start during the week against Bendigo for McKay, included 6 from 7 from the free throw line. 1 from 2 from that visit. O'Neill to Saray Taylor. Conti. Little miscommunication there from the Fire on the guard. Inside to Pizzi.
Good read from Saray Taylor. Saw Pizzi open at the elbow. Saray Taylor had a good shot. Pizzi had a better shot. And that's why there's 28 assists to the Southside Flyers and 14 assists to Townsville Fire.
28 assists from their 34 field goals made. It's a high rate. It's a really high rate from Southside.
Hard to beat when a team is moving the ball like that. You never know who's getting a shot.
Yep. 26 field goals made, 14 assists from Townsville. Conversely, here's Reeves, 4 seconds on the clock, off the back iron. Good take back from Murray. Woods fighting her way to the bucket. Nadine Payne.
Lara McSpadden, I believe. Banks open. Rebecca Pizzi.
Coming on with some quick fire points at the end. Rebecca Pizzi. 23 points the difference now. Spadden back out to McKay. Now Murray kicks it out. Reed, corner shot, 3 points.
Great shot. You know, I may have jinxed the Townsville Fire a little bit because fatigue looks like it's really starting to set in these last minutes of this game.
Blitz arms around to Saray Taylor. Conti underneath the bucket. Chase this one down as well. Now O'Neill. Just her 4th appearance this season. O'Neill with the layup.
I believe he called it on the ground. But they are in the bonus. And that'll see Megan McKay head to the bench for the last 47 seconds of this game.
Yep, finally fouled out Megan McKay, so she made it stretch.
She did.
She had 2 fouls from the first quarter, I think, so.
The first minute in the first quarter.
Yeah.
She's been good effort in staying in this game.
Amy O'Neill from the free throw line. 21 points now in the last minute. Out of play.
Flyers bench are not happy with this call. While I appreciate that, you're up 21 with 30 seconds to go.
O'Neill with the takeaway around the back, driving all the way for a highlight. Won't go in.
It's really, really good to see, you know, those bench players are coming in, and this, you know, this is my time to play and work on the things that we've been working on in practice, getting involved with my teammates. This is how she becomes a better player.
First one rattles in. Yeah, so minutes being given to some of the bench players from Southside. Taylor, Pizzi, O'Neill, Conti on the floor. All having played 6 minutes or less in this match.
And just haven't taken their foot off the gas.
Right underneath the bucket. Pizzi was almost forgotten about there.
Yep. And she's just come in and hit 9 points. Shooting at a nice high clip too.
Spatten insides and defensive efforts as well. From Rebecca Pizzi with the hand in the way of Akuzo. Stripped off. And O'Neill can drive back the other way for the last points. Won't count. 24-point win for the Southside Flyers. 2-0 against the Townsville Fire this season. They both came into this match 5-2. And now Southside 6-2 on the season. That's huge for them.
And just a good game of basketball in a sense that they made the adjustments that needed to be made to get the win. They really did. You know, threes weren't always dropping to open the game for either side. And Southside made that adjustment, started feeding that the ball in the paint and got rewarded. And, you know, doing that early on and keeping that consistent, you know, 6 to 10, then to 16 to 20 point lead throughout the game is why they ended up on top.
So the winning run of the Townsville Fire is snapped at 3. And the Southside Flyers, as many expected from the start of the season with this superstar squad, continue on with their winning ways. 6 wins for the season. They finish Townsville 70, Southside 94.
Main point scorers, Liz Cambage with 26, Bet Cole with 19 for the Southside Flyers. But one of the, I labelled her the honest worker during the match, was Amy Clydesdale, who came up and really ran the point very well. She had 9 points in the end, and she's with us here, Chemist Warehouse WNBL season. Amy, well done on the win. It was obviously a very tough opponent, the Townsville Fire. They've been great this season, but what was it that you guys set out to do from the start to really try and bury Townsville early on?
They're such a high energy team, so we knew they were going to come out, bring so much effort. So for us, it was all about the defensive end. We need to make sure that we're starting the game well, which we did that this time. And I suppose keeping with that, we lost the momentum a little bit, but we managed to bring it back, which is really pleasing.
There was a real focus on defence, obviously. You guys have been a superstar squad, and defence is one of your main trademarks. How tricky was it? How much more tricky was it with Townsville now and the bigs that they've got in their side, and some great guards as well, compared to some of the other teams who've played this season?
Yeah, I mean, they're quick in the guard department with Shyla and Steph Reed, so we've got our work cut out for us trying to contain them. But then they're pretty big on the inside too, so we needed to make sure that we defended as a team, which we're trying to work on each game rather than outscoring teams, because we can put points on the board, but we really need to make sure that we're stopping teams at the other end.
And now you've got to play tomorrow as well, so 2 games in 2 days, and the Adelaide Lightning up next. A lot of rotations, I imagine, from Cheryl Chambers. What was the mindset and the strategy, I guess, for you guys coming into having to play 2 games in 48 hours?
Yeah, I mean, recovery is a huge focus. Everyone coming off the bench really needs to make sure that they're bringing all the effort, locking in on scout, because we do need those rotations. It's more important than ever this season. So we're super lucky that we go 12 deep, 13 deep actually. We have a DP sit out every game. So yeah, we're really lucky in that department.
Amy, well done on the win tonight. It's a big win for you, 2-0 against the Townsville Fire this season, and good luck for the matches ahead.
Thank you so much.
Amy Clydesdale with us at full time, Chemist Warehouse WNBL season, the first of 3 games today, as we look at the Chemist Warehouse highlights here in the Flyers' 94-70 win over the Townsville Fire. A big win as well, obviously 24 points. Bianca Duffelmeyer with us at full time at HQ. What was the main thing that stood out for you, your main takeaway from this afternoon's game?
My main takeaway is the adjustments that were and were not made. You know, and I've been harping on it all game. You know, when the shot's not falling, what's going to work for you? What is working? And are you going to continue to go back to that? And that's what the Flyers did, and that's what took the Townsville Fire just a little bit longer to do. You know, needed a bit of a talking to from their coach to kind of light that, you know, for lack of a better word, fire under them. And the fact that I actually really appreciate what Amy's saying there, in that they can put points up on the board, so they're working on what they need to work on, which is defense. And, you know, they did drop the ball there and at the, you know, midway point of the second quarter, and then picked that back up and started making it hard for Townsville to score again in the third.
Yeah, defence points against for Southside this season. Obviously, they've won more than they've lost, so it's not going to be a huge disparity, but 76.9, which makes them just the 4th best defensive team for points against. So I guess for a team like that who lead or are either leading or second in most of the statistics this season, that's something they probably would have wanted to work on, and they made an effort on that today.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, you know, they've got to turn around and back that up tomorrow, in a sense that, you know, Adelaide have just as many threats on their team, and you've got Talbot that is leading the league in scoring at the moment. So defensively, that's what you've got to hone in on. And I believe up until Adelaide's last game, they were up in the top 3 of putting points on the board. So that's exactly what they need to work on moving into tomorrow's game.
We spoke about the assists. The final tally for that, 30-16 in favour of the Southside Flyers, which is an unbelievable tally. 53 from the floor, 53% that is, and 44 for Townsville. Any stats that stand out to you there from what we were able to see?
I mean, I'm a big fan of assists, and, you know, a team that's putting 30 assists together in a game, that's impressive. That's impressive. You can't really stop that. Like I mentioned during the game, you know, you don't know who's going to be taking the next shot. You know, someone, Steph or Sarah or Liz, may have gotten hot for a couple of shots, but if they're still looking at a shot of their own, which is good, but there's a better shot with an extra pass. These are the type of players that make that extra pass, and it just shows on their statistics.
4 more games coming up this weekend, 2 of them coming up later on today. Adelaide and Sydney is up next. The 2 sides we've just seen play again tomorrow. Southside's take on Adelaide and Townsville play the Sydney Uni Flames. What does this do now for Townsville? So we've spoken about Southside and their success and what they were able to work on, but for Townsville now, they've got Sydney, as we see tomorrow, Perth and Canberra after that. So they play 2 teams below them before they finish off with a pretty tough run against Canberra, Adelaide and Melbourne to finich the season.
They've got a bit of work to do. They definitely did not start the game as well as they have. You did mention that they've started well a couple of games, not started well a few, and they're kind of lulling in the middle at the moment. We'd really like to see them come out and start a game with a really good impact and continue that on for the whole 4 quarters, the whole 40 minutes of basketball.
A big thing as well for Townsville today was the fact that they were just short of players. They were only 4 on the bench to start. Kate Gaze wasn't playing. She has a back injury. She'll be back tomorrow for their game. They lost Lauren Nicholson during the match as well. Not sure of how long she's out for. And then all the players that were in foul trouble. So last word on Townsville, I suppose. If they get their full squad back and they're able to have the full complement on the bench, they'll be right back in those big games.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Townsville, it's, when it rains, it kind of pours, right? Kate goes out, you lose Lauren, you lost Shyla for a good 3-4 minute stretch to just getting a nice hard elbow to the sternum. Really takes the wind out of you, but that stopped her momentum of scoring. You lost Megan McKay to early fouls. Yeah, like I said, when it rains, it pours. So hopefully this is the end of their storm and they can pick this back up. A game tomorrow against Sydney, who is also a very, nitty-gritty team. They do the little things really well.
Big win for Southside then today. They go to 6-2 on the season. They've got both wins against Townsville. At full time, Southside 94, Townsville 70. Bianca, good stuff?
Good stuff. Look, wasn't as a competitive game as we thought it was going to be, just due to all of the details with the fouls and the injuries. But good show from Southside Flyers.
Absolutely. For now, we'll see you, but 2 games coming up later on this afternoon. Catch you later.